All right, guys, welcome back to my channel, the Present Parent Series. So I have with you Darien from Lewis Premier Stocks, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
I feel like I was about to flip it and say it the opposite way.
yes.
Darien is our stock guru, amazing with everything stock related. Any question that you have about stock, this is a person that you want to go to. So I'm just going to ask Darien just 5 basic questions about investing to give us a better understanding of like what we need to be doing as it relates to our kids for those who have young ones, which is most people that follow my channel, and what we can do to get our kids set up for generational wealth. So the first question I want to ask Darien is, at what age should a parent start investing on behalf of their child?
This is a great question. I think as soon as you get the social security number, if you have the information, go ahead and open that custodial account for them, because even though they may not going to understand until they get older, at least you gave them a head start with building something. So I think as soon as, because I don't have any children currently, but when I do have children, as soon as we get the social security number, we already plan on opening our child or children investment account. So I think as soon as you get the social security number, start getting them invested. If you have, if it's been, they're already 5 or 6 or whatever now, that's cool too. Go ahead and get them started, because like me and you, Deb, we didn't, like you said, we didn't inherit that type of
Mm-mm.
lifestyle where we had investment accounts. So I think as soon as possible, just open an account and buy one stock. Even if you can only buy one stock a month, that goes a long way. 18 years.
All right. That's great. That's great advice. And also just put emphasis on like it's never too late. But the earlier that you can start,
Mm-hmm.
and Darren, we've had these conversations all the time about letting stuff sit and seeing that long-term investment. Like
Right,
investing is a long-term game. Like it's not something that you're going to get those quick investments that turn around the next day.
right,
So
right. Yes.
that's dope. So what type of investment account would you suggest that, someone like me, like my son is 19 months old, what
Mm-hmm.
type of account would you suggest that we open on his behalf?
Great question too. I think we talked about you having him a college plan account, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's definitely excellent too, because like you said, that goes towards the college fund. So when he goes off to college, it won't get taxed because it's going to school expenses. So
Yep.
you're beating taxes. Excellent. I think outside of the college, get him an investment account that is, and this is for all parents. It's a custodial account. You can open it up on brokers like TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, Fidelity. Um, when you're opening an account, they'll give you an option. They'll say individual brokerage account, then they have custodial accounts. You get them a custodial account because you can, and in North Carolina specifically, you will have, the stocks will be in their name, but it won't be released to them up to the age of 18 or 21. You get to choose. Like my sister-in-law, she chose for her kids. She said 21. She said, I'm not even going to release this to them to the 18, 20.
You already know.
She said
Mm-hmm.
21. So a custodial account, that'll be good, because in that custodial account, you can buy them individual stocks in their names, or you can buy them mutual funds, or another investment vehicle that I like is ETFs, because they come like a bundle of stocks. So a custodial account, and also to like Dev, you have the college, the savings plan account.
Okay.
Those two, I think they're excellent. Tax benefit with the savings plan, and then still tax benefits with the actual custodial account too, because if the child is not touching that money till they're about 18 or 21,
Exactly.
that's long-term taxes. You get taxed quicker when you sell shares before a year, but if you hold shares for at least a year, you have a better tax rate
Okay.
on the profit. You only get taxed on the profit too. You don't get taxed on your principal you invested. You get taxed on, like, if let's say you invested over the years and then all together your child profited by the time they were 21 like 50,000, you just get taxed on that 50,000 that you profit.
All right, this is good information because, like I said, we both agreed we didn't grow up. We as soon as we finished college, like, oh baby, this is all the money I put away for you. You don't have to worry about nothing. Like, got student loans.
Get out the mud.
Yeah, literally getting out the mud, and and I preach this all the time. But breaking those generational curses, that's something that I don't want my son to inherit. I want him to come out of college being debt free. I want to be able to help him, put his money down on his first home or help him get his first car, like just to make his life a little bit easier as he transitions
Right.
into adulthood. and also so that he can do the same thing for his family. We can keep carrying this on from generation to generation to generation, and not carrying on that debt. I don't want my son to inherit any of my debt when I leave. I want to make sure that that's all taken care of, like in my death. So
I love that. I love that. Like your vision is going to come to life. Definitely.
thank you. I appreciate that, and I receive that. All right. So I know that everyone has a different idea of like what stocks they should be investing in. And I know there's not like the right stock to invest in, but
Mhm.
what stock suggestion would you give us for parents to invest in on behalf of their kids? If you could
Cool.
just pick three.
I actually got four for you. I'm gonna give you a bonus. So I think Apple is definitely good because kids love electronics, and Apple is innovative, and they're gonna be around for a very long time. And then also to just me doing my research with them, they're quality company when it comes down to like their financials. So they're not a company that carries a lot of what you say, like you hear now, like companies like JC Penney's and stuff like that having trouble during the pandemic.
Yep.
Apple is actually flourishing during the pandemic. So their
I think
revenue
they
has
have a
actually
whole new
increased.
iPhone.
Exactly. So Apple, Nike too, because if your children are into shoes and stuff like that, usually the stock is cheaper than the actual sneaker that they may get as they get older. So I think in Apple, Nike also too is a good quality. They're one of the best, I'm gonna say, athletic apparel companies when it comes to like between Under Armour, Puma, Adidas. Nike is kind of like the king.
Yep.
So um, then I'm gonna say Kellogg. Kellogg is good because Kellogg owns a lot of brands like Pop Tarts, different cereals and stuff like that.
I,
And they also have a benefit of, if you haven't heard of dividend, for everybody who doesn't know what a dividend is, you buy Kellogg, what they'll do outside of you just having, like outside of your shares just growing value over time, they'll pay you a dividend every quarter. So for how many shares you got times that amount of the dividend. So let's say the dividend's $1 a quarter. So if you got 20 shares, you get an extra $20 and they'll just move it into your brokerage account every quarter. So they got a dividend, and kids like Kellogg brands. I'm pretty sure everybody done dealt with Kellogg in some capacity. And then four, I'm going to say Take Two Interactive. That is a company that publishes 2K. So if you heard of NBA 2K, they're excellent. I got them actually in my portfolio. They're excellent stock because they're a game publisher. Video games are getting published left to right. Gaming has been increasing left to right because people are more home. So, and then we're coming upon holiday season. So, and then these new, these new devices are coming out, game consoles,
yep.
Sony and Microsoft. So the 2K is going to rise. 2K is going to sell a lot. To Take Two, who owns the brand 2K, that's just going to impact them too as further like growing up. I mean, further moving up in value. So Take Two Interactive, Nike, Apple, and Kellogg.
Y'all heard it from Darien. So as soon as you finish watching this video, go look at those stocks. Go ahead and buy. All right, those are the four that we need to be looking at. So my last two questions, Darien, how much money do you need to start investing? Is there like a minimum? Is there a max? Like, give us the scoop.
Cool. I always tell everybody it's kind of based around your budget. So I think a lot of people, they get paranoid because they're like, well, if I don't have enough money to start, then I shouldn't invest. No. It's never no such thing as not enough money. I look at it this: you need to create a budget, and outside with your budget, everything outside of your bills, what you put in your savings account, any money, and of course you need to treat yourself. So whatever leisure, I say put you a budget to like, hey, this is how much I'm going to spend on treating myself for whatever your recreation may be. Use that money, treat yourself. All the other money that's left over, let's say you got a certain amount of money left over, take $100, $200 out of it every month and start investing into the stock market. Even if you can't start out with $100 every month, understood. Start with 50. I don't think it's any type of set amount you should come in. I think you should always just one share at a time. One share of a time goes a long way. If you buy a stock every month, it'll add up over time. It will add up. So if let's say one of your investments that you buy is $100, let's say it just stays at $100 or whatever the case may be, or the average price is $100. You invested at least $1,200 in a year. That goes a long way. So I just don't think you should feel like, oh, I gotta have 2,000 or 10,000. Start with what you can and find a quality company and keep buying. I'm gonna say to make sure that you lower risk, diversify. Buy those companies, those 2 to 3 companies. If you only can start like that, 2 to 3 companies faithfully for a whole year, you'll see the wonders. You'll see the wonders. So I think start with what you were probably going to blow anyway. I
Exactly.
mean, like
Right.
if I was going to just mess over the money, I need to put it to something that will potentially grow it for me. So
Exactly.
yeah.
All right, so y'all heard it. The key word is budget. Okay, don't go spending your rent money on stocks.
Mm-mm.
Darian said we need to pay our bills. We need to,
Mm-hmm.
have something for our recreation and our leisure because we need to treat ourselves, especially in this
Right.
pandemic. We all need to be exercising self-care. And then whatever money that we were gonna blow, like, because I know I'm infamous for it, spending too much money on fast food or takeout, that's money that
Yes.
I can be investing into the stock market. So
Yes.
my
Yes.
last question, Darian, what tips for success would you give for first-time investors? I've really just started, like, and I can't even say seriously investing, but this is the longest I've ever invested in my life and been consistent about it. So
I
what
love
advice would you give, thank you, for first-time investors?
number one, don't chase the hype. And what I mean by this, what I mean by this is a lot of times it's a lot of stocks that's brought out by hype. Meaning they're not really no good companies. People just keep talking about them, and they're not longevity, or they've been dead a long time ago. I mean, the company's just some random hype news came behind, and then everybody's been flocking to it. Like Kodak. Let me give you an example. Kodak a few months back, people were hopping on the Kodak train because Kodak was saying, "Oh, we're going to produce the vaccine," but we know Kodak did cameras back in the day. And Trump was supposed to be like behind it. So the stock price just shot up for like a good few days.
Okay.
People were chasing behind that stock, but what ended up happening, because fundamentally, meaning it's just hype. This stock is not really show. This company hasn't really shown no longevity currently in this current climate. Just because they said they're going to make a vaccine doesn't mean it's solidified. They just said they were. So don't chase after hype. That's number one. Don't chase off of, make sure you always do your due diligence. Don't go off of just what I say. Don't just go off of what somebody say on TV. Make sure, hey, you can listen like, all right, she said this or they said this, but let me check it out for myself still.
And this is
Always
true
do your
because
fact check.
Gary still tells me this. So I know, yeah, this is true what you're saying. You have told me this several times.
Yeah, still just don't go off of what I'm saying. My best ability is I'm trying to steer you is to the furthest direction right as I can, but nobody's perfect. Nobody can't predict everything, but just always make sure you back it up. Like, okay, she did say this. That makes sense. I see why she said that. Just don't go by what I say or anybody else say. Do your due diligence. Don't chase the hype. And also too, make sure that you don't get discouraged and trust the process. Always go into it. Somebody said this is true. Sometimes we got programmed with jobs with getting money every 2 weeks, money every
Mm,
month, or money by or weekly, just depending on how your pay schedule may be. So
right.
we get programmed like, dang, if this stock ain't paying me out within a week, get it. Or it didn't pay me by next month, then I just need to no. So it's like a programming thing. And I think we all have suffered for that. So I'm not judging no one. So
Yeah.
I think just trust the process, go into it long term. Now it is ways that you can make money in the stock market short term, true. But I feel like the most wealth and more, and if you look into history, the most wealth is built through the long term. Have a vision for at least 1 year. You say if you like, okay, you like for a year straight, I'm going to invest. I'm not going to touch this account. I'm just going to build it up. Then, if you want to sell your shares for whatever reason, some of them, whatever your game plan may be, then do it. But I say at least go into it with the year mind. Then eventually you'd be like, oh, just a year passed by. I'm gonna just sit on. I'm gonna keep building up because I've seen what it done. So I
Right.
don't even want to take. Let me just buy some more for 2 years and just time pass. Just have a long term vision. It's your account, is your control, but at least go into it. I think with the mentality for at least a year. Trust the process. You got quality. It will give you return. The stock market has been historically known to give returns. It's been up more than it's been down, and it already crashed in March, and it's back. It's going back up. So,
Right. Okay.
mhm.
Well, that is all great advice. But dear, I want you to plug yourself in. Tell us where we can follow you. Like, tell us about, your business. Like, just tell us about you.
Okay, cool. Thank you again, Deb, for having me on your platform. I'm a stock market coach. I've been investing now for over 5 years. I've been able to use stock market profits to actually put a down payment on my home. Recently, I brought me some more land in Detroit, Michigan. I was telling everybody about, and that was to help a group economics too. A group economics is very important. But my main thing is to educate the everyday person, especially in our community, about how investing is tangible for us. It's in our reach, and we can use it to benefit ourselves, benefit our children, and help others too with it. So that's my biggest thing. I have e-courses and I have coaching services where I actually help you from beginning to finishing, meaning getting you all the way to the point where you're investing and you're comfortable and you know what you're doing. And also, I'm still there as a coach to mentor you after the fact. You can reach me at Lewis Premier Stocks, all one word, on Facebook and on Instagram. My Instagram has links to my YouTube and my website where I actually have e-courses and my coaching services. And if you just want to like get to know me a little bit more beforehand, I do provide courtesy calls. So you could just shoot me a DM on Instagram, or you can message me on Facebook. On Facebook, I'm Darien Lewis, Darien. Last name is Lewis, Lewis. And I'll answer your question. If you just have some questions you want to get off your chest before you get comfortable with saying, you know, I'm ready to invest, I can be able to answer that. And then if you're interested in me coaching you, I'll be more than happy to do that. I have coaching reviews on my page too as well.
Perfect. And if you guys want Darien on your platform, make sure you reach out. We're always trying to find different streams of income. And sometimes it doesn't always have to mean picking up a second job. That can mean us investing in the stock market. And as long as you're patient, you know, like you said, go in with that 1 year mindset. Don't check it, let it sit. And honestly, sometimes you'll forget that the money is even there. I'll go and check on my account. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I made money. Like my account just like shot up. This is dope. And then there are times when you lose money and you're like, dang. But it's a risk. And with a lot of things that we do in our lifetimes, like there is going to be a risk associated. But this is a good risk because it's something long term.
Exactly. So yeah, and that's true. Like you said, some days it's gonna be down. And like you said, you kind of got just like, let me log out. It'll go back up and recover about a total return. Because I tell people this too. It's not about maybe the days or the weeks. It's about the years in the stock market. So, hey, it's going to be some crazy days. It's going to be some crazy weeks.
It's going to be some crazy days. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Darien has dropped several gems on us in our short 30-minute conversation. Darien has been on several different platforms. I've seen you on different webinars, constantly posting. You drop, what is it, Free Game Fridays?
Thank
you. YouTube channel. Darien left us with all IG accounts and Facebook accounts. So please make sure that you support and follow. And let's get on this money train together. Let's start breaking these generational curses. Let's put our family and ourselves in better financial positions because we deserve to live luxury lives. Whatever you imagine your life being like, we deserve that, whatever it is. Whatever that life looks like for you, let's manifest it. But we also have to put in the work. Okay, it's not going to happen overnight. So thank you guys for joining us. Please make sure that you like and subscribe to Present Parent Series, and we'll be back soon with another video. Thank you so much. And thank you again, Darien. I really, really, really appreciate it.
Thank you again, Deb. I definitely do appreciate you.
Thank you.